Good morning, students. We'll start with our text, that is King Lear, from Act 1, Scene 2. And the speech is by Edmund now. Earlier we had seen that Edmund somehow shows a letter to Gloucester, which he says that is written by his son Edgar, though we know that he is cheating on him. Edmund, I do not well know, my lord, if it shall please you to suspend your indignation against my brother till you can derive from him better testimony of his intent, you shall run a certain course, where, if you violently proceed against him, mistaking his purpose, it would make a great gap in your own honour and shake in pieces the heart of his obedience. So, Edmund plays a dual game over here. We can see, I am not sure, he says, my lord, but he says maybe it's a good idea to restrain your anger until you find out exactly what he meant or what he wanted to say. Till then, I feel that you should keep restraint upon your anger. If you go after him like this and then find out that you had made a mistake, you will feel bad about it, and it would also damage your reputation and greatly undermine his loyalty to you. I dare pawn down my life for him, that he hath wrote this to feel my affection to your honour and to no other pretence of danger. So he is trying to convince him that I bet on my life that he has written this letter just to gauge my love for you, and I feel that there is no other reason behind this. So you should not jump to conclusions and be angry with him without any reason, without knowing the truth behind this letter. Think you so? He says, do you really think so? Edmund, if your honour judge it meet, I will place you where you shall hear us confer of this, and by an oracular assurance have your satisfaction, and that without any further delay than this very evening. He says that if you agree, then I can try to do something for you, that I'll hide somewhere where you can listen to our words or listen me talking to Edgar, or you can just eavesdrop on us talking about it. I'll make Edgar talk about this and you can listen to us and hear how he feels about you with your own ears. So I can do this for you, and you won't have to wait for this longer, because I'll do this today evening only. He cannot be such a monster. Gloucester says that I don't think he should be so bad. No, nor is not sure. Edmund says, I am also not sure that he can do like this. Gloucester, to his father, that so tenderly and entirely loves him, heaven and earth, Edmund, seek him out, wind me into him, I pray you, frame the business after your own wisdom. I would unstate myself to be in a due resolution. Gloucester says, how can he be so bad towards his father, who loves him so much? Tenderly means he loves him. I love him so much. How can he do or think like this for his own father? Heaven and earth, Edmund, seek him out. He says, O God, Edmund, go and find him. I want to clear all this. He says that go and gain his confidence and please try to manage him and the way you think best in this. I give up my rank and fortune to be free from my doubts. He says that I can give up anything to make my mind free from these doubts. I will seek him, sir, presently, convey the business as I shall find means and acquaint you with all. He says that I'll find him right away. I'll go and see where he is and carry out the business as usual, and then I'll let you know what's happening and what is the plan. I'll give you all the details. Gloucester. These late eclipses in the sun and moon portend no good to us. So he now is talking about the natural happenings that were there recently. He says that these recent eclipses and of the sun and moon are not good for us. Though the wisdom of nature can reason it thus and thus, yet nature finds itself scourged by the sequent effects. He says, though science can explain the reason behind these eclipses, but still these eclipses bring disasters with them. Love cools, friendship falls off, brothers divide in cities. He says that after such natural happenings like the eclipses, love between people cools off, friendships break, and brothers become enemies. And he says riots and such happenings, mutinies in countries, discord in palaces, treason, and the bond cracked betwixt son and father. He says after these eclipses, some mutinies break out in the cities, civil war happen in countries, kings are betrayed by their countrymen, and the bond between the father and son also breaks. This villain of mine comes under the prediction, their son against father. He says that this wicked son of mine seems to confirm the prediction that son is against the father. The king falls from bias of nature, there's father against child. It seems that the king here acts unnaturally and the father is against the child. Here the scene is different. We have seen the best of our time. Machinations, hollowness, treachery, and all ruinous disorders follow us disquietly to our graves. He says that we have seen all the good things of our period, of our age, which our period or our age has to offer. And what are these? These can be conspiracies, fake things, betrayal and disorder. All that's left until we die. We'll have to see everything now after what good things we have seen. Find out this villain, Edmund, it shall lose thee nothing. He says to Edmund that go and find out this villainous Edgar and what he is thinking. You won't lose anything because of this. Do it carefully. And the noble and true-hearted Kent banished his offence honesty. It's strange. He says, but try to do this very carefully. And he also talks about Kent. He says noble and loyal Kent, he is also banished from the kingdom just because what was his crime? That he was telling the truth. It's really strange. Now Gloucester exits from the scene. Edmund, this is the excellent foppery of the world. Now he is talking to himself, and we can, in his words, we can see the picture of his mind. This is the excellent foppery of the world, that when we are sick in fortune, often the surfeit of our own behavior, we make guilty of our disasters the sun, the moon, and the stars, as if we were villains by necessity, fools by heavenly compulsion, knaves, thieves, and treachers by spherical predominance, drunkards, liars, and adulterers by an enforced obedience of planetary influence, and all that we are evil in by a divine thrusting on. So, this speech of Edmund lays bare everything about human nature, that we keep on complaining or shouldering our problems to something that is not concerned with it. So he says that this is a classical example of the idiocy of this world. When we are down and out, often because of our own excesses or often because of our own follies, we put all the blame on the sun, the moon, and the stars, as if they have forced us to be bad, or the heavens have compelled us to be villainous or stupid, as if we have become thieves and traitors according to the astrological signs, or obey the planetary influences to become drunkards, liars, and adulterers. So he says there is nothing divine in this, but we keep on blaming all these things to the fact that we have done something wrong, or we are forced to do something wrong because of these divine happenings. An admirable evasion of whoremaster man to lay his goatish disposition to the charge of a star. He says that as if some universal power has pushed us into this evil deeds. He says what a trick it is that the mankind blames his lustful activities on some star. My father compounded with my mother under the dragon's tail, and my nativity was under Ursa Major, so that it follows I am rough and lecherous. Said that my father and mother, it seems, coupled when some stars were in some particular position at that time in the sky. Because of that, I have become such a demon, and because I was born under some big dipper. So it's inevitable that I am rude and overburdened or oversexed. I should have been that I am, had the maidenliest star in the firmament twinkled on my bastardizing Edgar. He says, I would have been just like that. Whatever stars would have been there in the sky during my conception, I wouldn't have changed because of some stars that were there in the sky at that time. Enter Edgar. Now we'll continue with this in our next lecture.